Flopsy and the Easter Bunny Olympics, Part 10 of 40. Cedrinum again formed his 120 rabbits into a 10-wide, 12-deep row of bunnies as he prepared to march us from our just completing standing high jump performances to our third and final event before the first round of eliminations. Okay, bunnies, Cedrinum announced to his 10 dozen. What do we say to Jacques Lepin for his excellent work? Thank you, Jacques Lepin, chorused nearly every bunny. You're very welcome, Jacques enthused back to them. Best of luck with the games. Each and every one of you would make terrific Easter bunnies. Go forth, do your best, have fun, he added, waving to the departing column as we hopped to the steeplechase quadrant within the Wells Fargo Arena. Marching forward, Cedrinum asked, Can anybody tell me who holds the record for the standing high jump? Bustle looked at me as we hopped along, but I shrugged my shoulders and shook my head to indicate I couldn't come up with the answer. The bunny who holds the record with his 122-centimeter standing high jump is none other than Jacques Lepin. He reached that height 12 Easter Bunny games ago, and no bunny has jumped higher since. Of course, Jacques doesn't like to talk about his record because the Easter games are about selecting great Easter bunnies to deliver treats to human households, not individual fame. But I was with Jacques when he reached that 122-centimeter height, and I want him to know I remember. So I started playing my little game with him about 5 Easters back and have played it ever since. Cedrinum's 10 dozen would-be Easter bunnies arrived at the steeplechase quadrant, where an elderly doe with glasses perched on her nose greeted him with, What? They let you back as a volunteer. I'm not certain that I want to be associated with any as organization that allows you in the organization. How are you? She asked, her tone changing from disdain to glee as she hopped forward and rubbed noses with Cedrinum before turning to his 120 wards for the 120-minute duration of their individual elimination, whichever came first. My name is Dodger, she announced, her voice once again serious, and while that does indeed rhyme with old codger, it would be very rude of you to say so, so don't. She added, her head sweeping left to right as she met all 240 Easter Games eyeballs before breaking into a grin and asking, Are you ready for the 400-meter steeplechase? It's not nearly as quick as those jumping events, but at least it's just you racing around a track and going over, under, around, or through various obstacles without having the added burden of half your weight on your backs. By the way, who here can tell me what over, under, around, and through all have in common, other than being part of steeplechase, of course? Feeling very exposed, I timidly raised a paw, and Dodger tilted her head as she looked at me over her glasses. Yes, she asked, hopping nearer to me and adding, You there, the one with your paw in the air and all that glistening snow-colored fur. What is your name, young rabbit? Flopsy, ma'am, I replied, nodding my head minutely. Flopsy, ma'am? That's an unusual combination. I've known many a Flopsy in my day, but no Flopsy, ma'am. Oh, you're addressing me with the honorific, aren't you? How nice, but feel free to call me Dodger. It's the name I'm most likely to answer to. But tell me, what do over, under, around, and through all have in common, other than mean what you're about to do? Grover from Sesame Street sings a song about them, I asked. Is that a question or a statement? Dodger asked with a smile. In any case, while your answer is technically correct, don't you just love Grover, by the way? And while it is related to my question, it's not the answer for which I am looking. Anybody else? Prepositions, one of the older teens hollered. They're all prepositions. Excellent, that is correct. And your name? Woundwort, the other bunny replied. Woundwort? Really? Dodger asked, any facade of playfulness gone from her voice. How fascinating. My uncle Tempestas Lacus named me. Beat some stupid white rabbit name, if you'll excuse me for being repetitive. I'm sorry, Dodger asked. Explain that last, please. What are you implying about my lovely friend Flopsy here? Friend, Woundwort asked, making the word sound like something icky that everybody would scrape off the bottom of their paws with nose wrinkled in disgust. You're friends with a white? I guess I'll let anybody volunteer here, huh? You, Woundwort, said Cedrinum hollered harshly. Meet me over by the gates. Everybody else, follow Dodger to your race. I'll be right in. Yes, Dodger said, her voice stern and head held high. Follow me to the 400-meter steeplechase. Cedrinum, I'll see you in a moment. Flopsy, please hop to the front of this column and march us in, won't you? I'll be right by your side to show the way. I'd heard brown bunny grumblings all my life. I'd walked by bad bunnies who insisted on whispering loudly enough to ensure that I'd hear that no white bunny was going to push them around. I'd endured the brown bunny true believer standing on street corners screaming as I walked by that the right Easter was their Easter, and if white bunnies wanted to celebrate Easter on April 16th, that was fine by them, but don't try to force their heresy on good bunnies who know better. I heard it all before, but I'd never been attacked so openly in public. A place and marching along a single white bunny surrounded by a gross of brown and black who'd stood silently as Woundwort made fun of me. I felt the sting of Woundwort's words all the deeper for their silence.